Joe, that's a Hall of Fame terrible take right there.
No, it's not. It's true. It's so true.
What?
Boy just choked. Straight women booty and let the ball go.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
LeBron James
puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound box. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Irving and Curry. One-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
Oh, yeah, but we'll get to explaining and debating in a second. Joseph, how we doing?
I'm living, can't complain, you know. It's basketball season. So
it is officially basketball season. We are to an impossible again, and so this is just another week that my fucking theory gets to live on. You and Devion got a secret beef that y'all don't want to tell me about.
Yeah, no.
It keeps surviving. I can't tell by the group chat. I wouldn't be able to tell by the group chat, but
Cat Williams started it. That's why. Cat Williams started the black hate amongst the community.
All the black
we just had to continue
hate.
It. Yeah, black on black crime.
Damn, Cat. All for one good episode of Club Shay Shay. But we digress. We got some NBA news to talk about. The All-Star game happened. The All-Star festivities happened. They were so boring that we don't need to talk about it at all. The only thing that was exciting to me, Joe, was
Steph versus Sabrina.
That was the only thing that was exciting to me.
It was great.
The regular 3-point contest was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That was fine. But dunk contest, trash. Jaylen Brown talking about, I'd do it again. Please don't. You were terrible. I don't know how the hell who you bribed.
He said he would do it again?
Yes. And just please no.
That was terrible.
I don't know.
Terrible
finals, but he was like easily to me the worst of the four, and they somehow kept giving.
My told me he ain't got nobody around him who tell him what to do or help or give him some advice.
My man tried to do the D Brown where he covered his eyes and waited until after he dunked the ball to cover his eyes. I was like, and we're rewarded that. Like that should have been a 30, and they gave that man like a 48.
Yeah, the judges were terrible too. Yeah, that was he was bad. He was bad. He was really bad. It was awful.
Yeah,
and he thought he was good, and then he thought he flexed with dunking with his left hand like he was somebody, bro. What?
Like we get it. We know using your left hand is difficult for you, but that's not really impressive to the basketball community.
Nope.
But anyways, that was more than we needed to talk about the NBA All-Star Weekend right there, because honestly, that was probably more effort that we just put into it than anyone involved did as well. I know Adam Silver was not pleased with that. But let's talk about the WWE, the NBA, because we've had a bunch of fake fights and everything.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So the first one has some real consequences for my squad, unfortunately. Jimmy Butler has been suspended for one game. He'll miss the Heat's trip to Sacramento to play the Kings. So if you missed the scuffle, Zion flopped like a motherfucker, and then everyone on the Pelicans wanted to act like they were the biggest, baddest guy and had their teammates back, which I can appreciate that part of it. Some pushing happened.
Let's be real, it happened all game. Like the refs weren't calling fouls; they were letting them fight. It was a testy game all game.
It was a good competitive game.
It was.
I've got a lot to say about it, but to fill in the wrap up, so that they start pushing a little bit. Najee Marshall decides to grab Jimmy by the throat. So Jimmy obviously didn't take too kindly to that, pushed him back fairly hard, and then people left the bench. So a bunch of people got ejected and everything. There are other suspensions. They're just not as notable names. So we'll stick to the main thing here with Jimmy having to miss a game.
Fuck him.
But all right, fine. Nikola Jovic misses a game. Thomas Bryant out 3 games. Jose Alvarado out a game, and Najee Marshall also out a game. They're happy. We gave them all their suspension flowers.
Jovic was your second best player.
Hey, Jovic, whenever he's been playing, he's been balling. So
he's been balling. I was gonna say in the finals last year, all 12 minutes or whatever.
Stop it. But Joe, what was your reaction? I mean, it is good that we're like kind of at the point in the season now where you can tell like the players all really care now, and it's like getting intense. But what was your reaction to the scuffle, the ensuing suspensions, everything?
Hey, I like the physicality. Well, there's no defense, but for somehow people are still getting physical and wanting to fight. I like it. I like the testiness. I'm liking it a lot.
It's almost like they actually do play defense in the NBA, and this is just a big old fucking myth that no one plays defense anymore.
Well, they're not really. They are scoring kind of ridiculous.
It's just faster paced.
They play defense in the playoffs, but anyway, man, I don't know how you get choked and you get suspended a game. To me, that's crazy. Once somebody puts their hands around your neck, unless you straight out knock them out on the court and they literally knocked out cold sleep on the court, I don't think you should get a game. I really don't. I think Jimmy defended himself, pushed them away. He didn't do anything else. He didn't hit nobody else. I mean, obviously, there was a lot of fake fighting and barking and talking after that situation. I'm okay with everybody else's suspensions, but Jimmy to get anything, I think it's crazy to me. You literally got choked and you got suspended for.
I didn't even think Jimmy should have been ejected. I didn't think he deserved to be ejected. I was sitting there watching. I was getting pissed because at the time, it's in the fourth quarter. The Heat were only up by 4, and I'm like, okay, so you're gonna eject some fucking Jose Alvarado and Najee Marshall. Meanwhile, we gotta lose Jimmy. Out of all those people that were pushing,
that's the last person should have been suspended.
I'm like, come on, man.
I mean, kicked out the game. Yep.
What are we doing? Like, yeah, he kind of got in his face and said something, but if he hadn't been choked and then he wouldn't have pushed anybody, like nothing would have escalated. It got escalated when someone put their hands on someone's neck, which obviously. So I don't know how he was even ejected. I really don't know how he's suspended. I don't really know what Jovic is suspended for either. Like, the only person that I saw that I could understand the suspension in terms of what they actually did was Marshall. I think Alvarado left the bench. I don't remember if he was out on the court or not. Thomas Bryant from the Heat left.
No, I don't know if he left the bench. Yeah.
Which I guess, he probably would have got 3 if he left the bench. I don't really know what he did specifically. There's a whole lot going on, a whole lot to dissect there. I was just very mad in the moment that the Heat star player got ejected while a bunch of role players were the other ones got ejected, and now
was Jovic involved in like the second part of the brawl once everything kind of calmed down?
Jovic is the one that I think fouled Zion, so he's the one that.
I don't know why.
Again, I thought that was just a flop. Like
plus it's Zion, you got to foul him hard.
I mean, if you're gonna try and prevent him from scoring, like, you can't just kind of give him a little, slap on the wrist. Like, he just dunk on you. So. I mean,
the refs let them play, and then once it got to that point, they was like, "Okay, let's get control back of the game."
Yeah, like they want to make an example. It's like if you just should have done your fucking job the whole game, it wouldn't have got to this point.
Exactly.
But it is what it is. I liked the response that I saw from the Heat out of it, though. Jimmy after the game, as he's walking off, he said, "It's that time," and then he's talking all this shit because we got to play them again, and he's like, "Yeah, we'll beat them again." So it seems like the Heat kind of got their shit back.
That's the last thing the NBA needed, right? Yeah, exactly.
So I'm happy about that, but come on, like, don't be we can't be that soft of a league. Come on now.
They should embrace it for the moment.
Yeah, as long as, again, no one goes into the stands, like, any of that extra shit. Like, as long as, like, it's just a little, like, pushing and shoving, maybe a hard foul every once in a while. That's not like putting anybody's, like, health at risk. Yeah.
As long as the broadcasters or commentators don't go, "Oh, this is a travesty to humanity," and make it 10 times worse than it actually is, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah,
you can't do the Joe Buck with the Randy Moss situation.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Lord. Yeah, well, good thing Joe Buck doesn't call fucking basketball games. So
that's true.
But let's talk about another kind of scuffle that happened. Warriors and Hornets game. This game was...
Oh, wait, before we move on, by the way, how does Isaiah Stewart only get 3 games when he straight sucker punched somebody in the tunnel?
That's a great point.
But this was not even I mean, I get it. It wasn't caught on camera. It was in the tunnel. But still, you literally sucker punch somebody before work,
and
basically.
Has a history.
You were at work and was like, I'm about to
history.
knock this dude out. Exactly.
When he was trying to chase LeBron all around the court.
And he only gets 3 games, but Draymond got suspended all them games. They had to sit out indefinitely and go to counseling. Like, come on now. It's because it's the Detroit Pistons and no one cares because they suck. But still, bro, that's crazy, dog. You can't be sucker punching people at work. It's insane.
Shouldn't sucker punch people anywhere.
Right.
Clear,
but like, that part.
At work when the NBA is about to be, got to be the one that dealing the.
Hey, I'm a dirty fighter though. If I got to fight, hey, I'm not losing. Just say
whatever you got to do to make sure you don't take the L.
You
throw a chair, throw some sand in somebody's eyes, whatever you got to do. I like it. I appreciate it. But yeah, so let's get to
Scratch call.
Draymond and Charlotte. So basically, the game was in hand. There was 20 seconds left. The Warriors had their scrubs in since bench players in since like about 2 minutes 45 seconds.
They're ninth in the West, so you can call them scrubs. It's okay.
There was a 2 second discrepancy between play clock and shot clock. So the Warriors laid the ball in, got a layup, because they were going to have to take a turnover if they didn't. And then Miles Bridges, Mr. Tough Guy, to put his hands on women, gets all upset and gets in his face, gets in I don't even remember the guy's name, the rookie's face, who doesn't get to play very often. And then pushing and shoving starts. Grant Williams gets all animated, et cetera, et cetera. So Draymond then calls out Grant Williams after the post game, basically saying, this tough guy thing is really weird. He's really actually a nice guy. I don't know why he's doing all this. It's not. And then Draymond, of course, has to give himself like a weird pat on the back where he's like, "Is that always fun on this side? On the villain side, it's like, all right, Draymond, relax." But basically called out Grant Williams, saying him running his mouth and trying to be this bad boy, bad guy, villain role is what got him traded from Dallas, which you kind of brought up last week or 2 weeks ago when we talked about this. And it's kind of ruining his reputation and his place in chemistry with teams. So what do you think of this whole situation? First, the actual play on the court, did it deserve the extras that we got, or
hell no, it was a waste. Wasted energy. They just mad because they suck. Like, they got so much talent on the Hornets, but they just bunch of individuals, and that's their problem. That's what that was all about. But then Grant Williams, he went to Syracuse, I think. I can't remember.
Don't remember where he went to college.
I can't remember.
I'll look it up. Continue your thought.
I feel like it was Syracuse. But yeah, Grant Williams was never known really as a tough guy. He was that extra energy, grit. I don't even want to say tough. He was just that energy guy, who's going to go hard out because
Tennessee.
he barely
University
Tennessee. I'm trying to remember that.
They were like 2 seed in the tournament. They were
okay, that team. Okay, yeah. Okay, but I mean, he was one of those guys that I'm just trying to make the team. I'm gonna do whatever I can, and he got
the little things, the dirty work, all that.
Got paid a big contract, and I think he's trying to live up to that contract because, when you that guy, you got. Look at Grant Williams. Let's be real. Like, he's a good defensive player. He can make a couple open threes when he's open, but for real, like talent-wise, he's probably not worth the contract that he's getting. He's doing what he can. He's not even. He's like I don't even call him a baby Draymond Green. He's way underneath that. So I think he's just.
It's a similar type of role, though. It's a similar role,
yeah. Absolutely. I think it's
DJ Tucker, like he's like a guy like that.
And when that money came, that ego came with it. And I think he got outside of his role and his mentality changed. And he think he that guy. He think he gotta fit into a whole nother role that is not him. And it's just not working. You can tell Dallas got rid of him quick for a reason. It looked like it started off well, like the first month, looked like things was gonna go well, but hey. If you not that guy, and I hope he learned that lesson because he tried to be that guy with Luka and Kyrie, and they said, "Hey, we the all-stars here. We can ship you out. Look where you're at now. You in Charlotte, when you could be in Dallas, and they grooving right now. It could possibly make a run for the Western Conference Finals."
They did get 20-piece today by Indy, but yeah.
I mean,
they've been playing well. They've been playing well.
That happens.
Since Kyrie came back from his injury, they've been playing really well. Yeah, I think so. Here's. I agree with the sense that, like, the getting mad when someone scores with time left on the clock is a little overdone, especially in this sense. Like, Charlotte, y'all should be used to losing. Like, what? I mean, come on. What are we doing now?
Unless the dude like warns you, does some crazy mixtape stuff on you, and then embarrasses you. Who cares if there's a minute?
Right.
Left?
If they're just playing regular basketball and get a layup,
easy layup. That's easy what it is.
You're pressing, like, so you're trying defensively. Like, you've been pressing since 2:45 after the Warriors took their starters out. You were still pressing, so you were still clearly trying to play, right? So then all of a sudden, now we're at this weird time where now all of a sudden it's okay for you to, like, whatever.
And
here's my only complaint with the Warriors in that scenario. I want y'all to do it like Zion did it. whatever that was last year, a couple years ago. Like, punch that bitch. Like, I want you to like really put some emphasis on the ass whooping you just delivered to the
I'm okay
opposing
with that.
team. Like, that's what I want. Like, I want, if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna just do some soft little layup, all right, just take the turnover, let the time run out. Like, that does nothing for me. Again, I want them to feel like they should be mad. So I want you to like really put some emphasis on it and punch that dunk. So that's my only
I ain't
complaint
mad at
there.
it.
Just make it more disrespectful since they want to get all mad with their little 8-win, 9-win team being mad like, oh my god, someone scored more points on us. Like, that doesn't happen every fucking game.
Exactly.
Grant Williams, I think, yeah, he's got to be careful. Like, you gotta understand when and how to play that role, which I think we're starting to see, and we honestly saw it last year with the Celtics, right? Like, end of whatever that was, game 1 or 2 in the Eastern Conference Finals, he gets in Jimmy's face, and then that kind of ignited basically a Jimmy run to close out a playoff game in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? We saw how that series ended up getting to 7 games, so if they would have been able to steal that one, maybe that goes a different way. So I think he's got to start to rein in a similar way Dylan Brooks, like, not LeBron, right? Like, that's not the one to do that to, right? If someone comes at your guy, yeah, go handle something then. But like, to just kind of start doing shit unprovoked, I think is going to be bad for him and his career as he gets older.
A raccoon can't poke a bear. Just saying. Just saying. Stick to your own species if you want to fight. Just saying.
That was a good one, Joe. I'm not gonna lie, it was a bar right there. But yeah, so I think there's a difference between being like gritty and then like also like showing up like your teammates, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with like, let's go, let's lock in, blah blah blah, like getting like mad and visible and emotional, all that. There's nothing wrong with that, but you can't like attack your teammates, which sounds like that's what happened in Dallas.
I agree.
You especially can't attack a Kyrie Irving or a Luka Doncic. I don't think they're gonna take that the way that he wants.
I bet you he was yelling at him, you gotta play defense. I was like, man, you get the fuck out of here. Right, exactly. We got you $90 million to play defense. Shut up, play defense. Get out of here. For real talk.
You know what's crazy, Joe? You know what really sucks for Grant Williams? He got that, what was it, 4-year deal? And now he's got to eat. He said he got to choose where he went. Take your ass to fucking Charlotte. You got to live out that contract. That's ugly.
And they got some good pieces for it, like PJ Washington.
It was not a bad deal.
Grant Williams is a good ass trade. I like PJ Washington's potential is higher. Like, he's not there yet because he's playing on a losing team. Exactly.
Yeah, he offers him a little more. You probably lost a little defensively, but you probably gained more offensively in that trade. So, anyways, let's talk about your Lakers, though, Joe.
And there's no sales tax. There's no There's no income.
Not sure about but it's certainly going to be
no income tax. Yeah, so he gonna need that without that child support. PJ Washington. I'm just saying, it helped. I'm just saying, it worked out for him in multiple ways.
Shout out, PJ Washington. Shout out.
The whole draft.
All right, on to your Lakers. So this, of course, made the Skip Baylesses of the world have to say something. But the whole thing, LeBron played in the All-Star game and then missed the first game out of the All-Star break with the same ankle injury he's kind of been nursing for a minute now. It sounds like he's not going to be able to really address it until the offseason. Are you worried about LeBron and the ankle with the Lakers moving forward?
No. I mean, he played today, didn't he? And he scored 27, 7, and 12. So he cool. What I'm worried about is everybody else. Because LeBron still scored 27, 7, and 12, and they lost. I get it, he was playing the Suns, but if you're playing the Suns in the playoffs in a series, LeBron go off like that and y'all still lose. I mean, what you gotta have to have Anthony Davis drop 40 to win. So I'm concerned about the role players and LeBron ankle. I know if LeBron could go out there and play every now and then, every other day, we could. LeBron can be healthy.
Look, the whole thing with the fucking missed game was the fact that it was a back-to-back. They picked he was going to play the San Antonio game.
Exactly.
That's all that it was. Now,
And
to
he's at that
me,
age where he can do that. He can do that without them being upset and finding him because he has that exemption.
I personally think he should have played the first one because I think the Lakers could have probably handled business in San Antonio without him.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. Maybe he just wasn't feeling right, and so they said, "Let's get the extra day here, get him back, whatever." The only reason why I'd be a little concerned, Joe, is just where the Lakers are at in the standings.
I didn't think about that. That's
It's just like any game
LeBron.
that LeBron misses, it's just like that's like oh man, like
That's a good point.
they don't have games that they can throw away. So that's my only slight concern. I don't see them falling out of the play-in. I just ideally for the Lakers, I think they would at least get to 6 so they can avoid that. I mean, because the way it sits right now, I mean, it would be Lakers and Warriors in a winner go home 9-10.
The Lakers will feel comfortable in that though.
All right, I'm just saying you get into a winner go home situation. That's never good. And then even if they win, they still have to win another game to get into the 8 seed. So it's just if they're going to be in the play-in, like definitely get to like 7-8, so you at least have you win one and then you advance. But if they're in the play-in, I think
can argue with that.
Season over with anyway. So yeah, whatever. But
anyway, bro, because there's so many good teams in the West.
Yeah, the top of the West is
stacked.
It's tough.
You're gonna have to pray for injuries. That's it. I mean, I'm not worried about the Timberwolves though, because
speaking of injuries, Trae Young hurt his hand. I forget which ligament he tore, but he tore a ligament in his hand. He's going to be out about 4 weeks. The Hawks weren't really going anywhere anyways, I don't think. But what's your kind of quick reaction to this one, Joe?
Well, maybe I guess this gives the Hawks and Quinn Snyder a chance to say and realize without Trae Young, y'all really don't have much. Find some new talent to put around them. You got a lot of pieces. You got a lot of similar type guys. Let's see what happens. Is Murray going to step up? If Murray steps up, then what y'all going to do? Y'all can trade him in the offseason, I guess, and say, hey, look, this is what he did when he was the main guy. He just wasn't the right fit with Trae. That's their only hope. It's over for them. Without Trae, it's over for them. Like, if they can stay alive and just hope, they can get into the play-in, because if Trae is playing and y'all in the play-in situation one game, Trae can go
get you
40-12 and get you one. Exactly.
Trae can get you one for sure.
So you just gotta hope you stay alive. So you gotta put it on Murray and say, hey, let's go. Let's see what you got, because you wanted to be that guy. We couldn't trade you. There wasn't nobody really out there who wanted you. Maybe I don't know why they didn't trade him, but hey, we brought you here to work with Trae, and it isn't working out. Give us a reason to keep you in this offseason, or show other teams out there why they should trade for you. Go ahead, do it. That's their best option.
So the Hawks right now currently sit in 10th, so the very last play-in game. They are currently up 3.5 games on Brooklyn for that last spot. So they could hang on to that. Brooklyn fired their coach. They fired Jacques Vaughn and are going another way. So that could be one of those scenarios that goes, maybe that spurs them. They start winning a few games, and this coincides with the Hawks losing quite a bit.
Play Ben Simmons more, because he's been looking good actually. But
Ben, when he's out there, has been looking good. It's not much of it. It wouldn't be a story if it wasn't just such a high caliber player like Trae Young, right? Like that's the story that we just don't get to watch Trae Young play for 4 weeks. Can they withstand it all that? Who knows? Sure. I mean, maybe they can hold off the Nets. Who really cares?
Right.
They're not gonna. I don't think they really factor much into the East playoffs. So, so I don't see them catching lightning in a bottle like the Heat or the Lakers did last year, coming from the play-in, making runs to the conference finals. Right. I don't think there's enough talent there. So, hopefully he gets healthy. And honestly, if it starts going one way, maybe you just hold him out, get a little better draft.
But that's a great idea. I feel like Trae been disrespected though. I mean, 3 years ago he was in the Eastern Conference Finals. He's not Allen Iverson. Like, name the last time a point guard that was 6'1" and under and led their team to the Eastern Conference Final or a finals. Like, you got to put talent around him. You can't put all that shit on his shoulders. and expect him to take the Hawks to the
I,
finals.
I don't think it's on Trey per se. I do think it says
I'm
a little
saying
bit about like
he's the only superstar on the team, only star on the team. So when you talk about the Hawks, they're gonna put it all on Trey and say, "Hey, Trey needs to step up. He needs to be a leader, make his teammates better." Maybe his teammates just ain't that good. The man scored 40 and put 40 points up and 12 assists and lose a game by 20. That's not his fault.
yeah. I just they haven't like
He's not gonna play
the
defense.
AI reference is a pretty good one, right? Because they put a very specific team around AI. You had Mutombo at center when they had their run, right? They had Mutombo at center, rim protector. They had Eric Snow starting across from as the other guard, great point of attack defender, right? Like they literally covered up what AI's kind of weaknesses were very perfectly and allowed him to just do what he did best: score the rock, play make on occasion, and Capella at one point was a pretty good rim protector. I don't think he's quite that same guy anymore.
It's because he's undersized. I think he's getting worn down. Like, got him out there 6'7" playing center and bodying and banging people all the time.
6'7". Come on now, he's
Boy, little man.
6'10",
He's
6'11".
little. He's
Come
little,
on.
bro. He little, bro.
Don't do that.
He little.
But they don't have. Yeah, they just. We've talked about this a lot on this show. How they just have a lot of players that are like the exact same player, and they've tried to get rid of them. It just seems like the people that they keep bringing in just don't end up doing well, right? Like they got rid of Kevin Huerter, they brought in Bogdanovich, kind of similar. They got rid of Cam Reddish. They didn't really get anything in return because they gave up too late. Yeah, I mean DeAndre Hunter is like, I think he's a nice player, but he's not like a lockdown defender, and then he doesn't score as like easily enough offensively. So he's just kind of he's a nice piece, but you need some guys that are excellent, like top tier at something to put around Trey. They just haven't really done that very well. So sucks because we are wasting his time, his kind of peak years. Because we have to remember, we have a guy that little, the body's probably going to break down a little quicker than other players as well. And hopefully this is not the start of that, but something that the Hawks should.
He's averaging like 27 and 10 in his career. Or it's like 27 and 12 or something crazy. Like, we're going to go back and look on it and be like, how is he not in the Hall of Fame yet?
Yeah, he keeps getting snubbed for these damn All-Star games, too. Man. Anyways.
And Vince Carter and Chauncey Billups in the Hall of Fame. Kyle Lowry's in the Hall of Fame. Just saying.
Who said anything about some fucking Kyle Lowry?
Was Kyle Lowry the point guard for a championship winning team?
Sure.
Was Chauncey Billups the point guard for a championship winning team?
Yes.
Was Kyle Lowry the best player on that championship winning team?
No.
Was Chauncey Billups the best player on his championship winning team?
I think you can make an argument he was.
But yeah.
A much better argument for him than some Kyle fucking Lowry.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, how many All-Stars were on that Toronto team when they won? 3?
What are we getting at here, Joe?
How many All-Stars was on the Pistons team when they won?
How many Kawhi Leonards were on the Pistons team that won?
I'm just saying. Vince Carter can make the Hall of Fame. I know Kyle Lowry in the Hall of Fame.
Kyle Lowry's not sniffing a single career-long stat that Vince Carter has.
Yeah, because he ain't gonna play 21 years.
I don't know whose fault it is, but Kyle Lowry's he can't play that long. He's fat ass.
Vince Carter only in it because he made a dunk. That was dope.
A dunk. That was dope. Is quite the undersell.
Yeah, because he has a bunch of dope dunks. That's fair.
Stop hating. Why? What just made you decide? You know what? I need to talk about Kyle fucking Lowry and start hating on Vince Carter and Chauncey Billups. Like what?
Because we brought up Trey Young and then AI. So then Hall of Fame.
I'm not seeing the connection there.
Point guards that are little.
Vince Carter ain't no goddamn point guard.
Well, I had to bring up the Hall of Fame, so it just ended up happening.
You had
Chauncey Billups was in there.
Sure.
But I was gonna bring more hate. How is Michael Cooper in the Hall of Fame? Like that's okay. We letting 6 men into the Hall of Fame now? Okay. J.R. Smith is in the Hall of Fame.
Manu.
Yeah, oh well, yeah, damn. Michael Cooper was better than Manu. I'll put that out there.
Facts. Manu just got to play on a really good team. But
Mhm.
anyways, not that he wasn't good. He was very good. But yeah.
Hey, don't turn Gilbert Arenas on me. I'm just saying. He said, "What did he do when he was a 6-man? 16 points. What did he do when he started? 16 points." Just saying.
Kill is tops here. Okay, let's move on. So there's been a media / former player and current player, but whatever, a little
I'm
beat
mad
back
you
and
put
forth.
media in front of that. That's disrespectful.
JJ Redick's part of the new media, baby.
That's crazy. That's cool.
It happened on First Take. That's where it started.
I know. I'm just saying that's cool. I'm 10 years in, but this man jumped right in hot. That's cool. Just because he went to Duke, that's cool.
I mean, he has his own podcast while he was still playing, Joe.
Well, didn't nobody listen to it until he went on First Take?
Stop it. He had a ton of.
Didn't nobody know about the.
That's why he got on First Take, because of the podcast.
Didn't nobody know about the old man in the 3?
I did. Been listening to it. I listened to it even when he was on Yahoo and they called it something else.
So 30-year-old black man who loved Duke.
Watch Duke. Fuck Duke.
That's a very segmented group. I'm just saying.
They talk real basketball on there. That's why Pat Bev's actually been a guest.
And that's why he only got 5,000 views on him breaking down Zion's ball handling.
Well, see that's a commentary on the goddamn just terrible fandom that exists right now. The casual fan run amok, but whatever.
No, I disagree. I think the casual fan would like it for 5 minutes. They just don't want it for a 25-minute segment on First Take.
You can't break everything down in 5 minutes, Joe.
But
that's fucking happens. But nonetheless, let's get to what they're fucking talking about, Joe.
That's not their fault though. You on First Take, you know Stephen A is gonna blow V8, and you are going on there. So then throw like JJ Redick does, throw your stats and shit in there. People want that. That's why he always trends, because he always throws facts in their face and then they don't know what to say.
No, I think he does great on. I think he's a great opposing
I think he just stepped on his shoelaces and then crossed over to the other side, like we're about to discuss.
I don't think he crossed over nothing. I thought he spit nothing but facts.
I don't think he believed what he said, but that's fine.
Oh yes, he does. I know he believes it. But regardless, so they were talking about the Bucks and can the Bucks turn it around, and they had played a Doc Rivers quote about how basically Doc was like, yeah, I kind of wanted them to wait till the All-Star break before they made the change, but they made the change 10 games before. Just typical Doc Rivers shit, making an excuse for why his team's 3-7 since he took over, and they were, 33-13 with Griffin.
If you wanted them to wait, then as the consultant for them, then you probably shouldn't have shitted on the head coach every single day that pushed them to bring you in instead, because you made it sound like you knew everything that was going on from a bird's eye view, watching plays and not actually being there every day. And now you're there every day. Now you don't know what to do, jackass.
Right. So JJ basically said on First Take, they discussed are the Bucks done? Where they did the whole hot take thing. We're like, let's make a definitive take on the Bucks right now. Are they done? Do they suck? Are they the worst? Are they going to win the championship? Right? Because there can't be an in between. So then JJ at the very end goes, wait, are we just not going to talk about the actual quote? He's like, why does Doc Rivers? Why? He's like, it's a pattern with this guy. He's always making excuses. I got to call a spade a spade. Basically, obviously the backstory. JJ played for Doc Rivers when he was with the Clippers. He was on one of the teams that blew a 3-1 lead.
Let's not use spade and Doc Rivers in the same sentence on Black History Month. I appreciate it. I couldn't. It is 3 and impossible, so I'm just saying it's possible.
3 and impossible. We're a spades reference here, Joe. Come on. But anyway, so JJ said what he had to say. Then Pat Bev, who was currently on the Bucks, was on the team that came back 3-1. He was on that Rockets team that came back 3-1 with James Harden to beat the Clippers with Doc Rivers. So Pat Bev did the thing that I feel like usually players fucking can't stand when a fan like you or I would say. He goes, well, you were the one guarding James Harden. You got cooked. Maybe Doc Rivers should have not played you. And then JJ Redick came back with his stats where he actually did look like decently against James Harden the few times they had to guard him. So, nonetheless, what's your whole reaction to this back and forth? I love that they're both passionate. You know, and obviously Pat Bev is always going to stick up for his team, so I get it. But what was your take, Joe?
This is why I think JJ went crossover and went into that hot take zone because he made it personal. He made it seem like it was a personal where, hey, I don't care how many excuses Doc has. He keep finding a job, so he's doing something right. Let's not act like he's the worst coach ever. He do take teams far. He just hasn't gotten over that hump.
He just choked every time.
Okay, yeah, but let's not act like it's so now it's just his fault. It's just the coach's fault. There's been plenty of coaches who've been to that point, but didn't win. Is it Mike McCarthy's fault that the Green Bay Packers couldn't win more Super Bowls with Aaron Rodgers? I mean,
he had a leading role in there.
Some part of it, but it's not all his fault. I mean,
I don't think JJ was trying to make it out to be that it was all Doc Rivers' fault. No, he was just pointing out again. It's like, why is Doc always making an excuse and just like
when you talk a lot, you're gonna say something. What is he supposed to say? Yeah, it was my fault. Come on now, he's not gonna sit there and say it. No one's gonna sit there and say that every single time. He knows the narrative. He knows the narrative. Let's not come on now. Let's not act like Doc Rivers hasn't been in the media for damn near almost 40 years now. Like he knows.
Right, all he has to do is just say, look, yeah. You know, I see some encouraging trends. We're not quite pulling out games. It's a work in progress. We're going forward. I like some of the trends that we're seeing defensively. That's all he had to say. He didn't have to say, well, I didn't want them to make the change now right before the All-Star. It's kind of an awkward time to make a change. He didn't have to do all that. He didn't have to say that.
It is hard, though. It is hard to take over a team in the middle of it and stuff like that.
And like JJ pointed out, right after the trade deadline, when a bunch of players just got fucking traded across the country, it's not hard for them.
No one's debating that, though. No one's debating that. It's hard on the players.
You have Giannis and Dame. Figure it the fuck out.
I agree. It's been 10 games. It's been 10 games.
Then he shouldn't feel the need to make excuses.
I think I would make excuses too. I would. Hey, I'm coming in here halfway through this season. Obviously, there was already a bunch of shit going on. That's why they fired their coach halfway through the season. I'm gonna sit here and try to make it work. But if it don't work, give me more than half a season to make it work. I think that's what he's trying to build. Like I said, he's been in the media for so long.
He's trying to build and he's trying to plant seeds for excuses later down the road.
Absolutely. He's not stupid. He's not stupid. I don't think it's bullshit. I think it's smart. I got Dame Lillard and I got Giannis. If I can't figure out Dame Lillard don't want to play defense, I don't know what's going on with Brook Lopez, Clint Portis, all these guys. If they don't show up and win,
when a player tells you they don't want to play for your organization, don't trade for him.
Yeah, hey, that's not Doc's fault.
It's not. It's not. All I'm saying that Doc has to do is just say, yeah, it's not the start that we wanted with me as a head coach, but I see some encouraging things, and I like the way that we're moving forward. We're going to figure it out. You know who would say that? Spo would say that. Ty Lue would say that. Pop would say that.
Spo wouldn't say that.
You see, he already did. They tried to give Spo the injury excuse several times this year. He goes, no, that would be disrespectful to the guys I'm about to play. We have enough to win. We need to figure it out. That's exactly what Spo says every single time. No matter what insert excuse that someone's trying to give him, and he's going to say, well, all right, Doc, be a fucking coach and use some coach talk.
He was just doing play-by-play a month ago.
I'm not hearing that. And he was coaching 6 months ago.
That's fair. Hey, that's Doc though.
All right, and so again, it's a trend. Like exactly like JJ Redick said, it's a trend. There's always an excuse with this guy.
I don't think it's an excuse. I've never heard Doc say an excuse. I've never heard him say an excuse. What did he say when I really the Clippers was bad. That excuse was lame.
No, Philly. He blamed Ben Simmons. He blamed one play in an entire 7-game series.
He did blame Ben Simmons.
One play in an entire 7-game series, lost in the fucking series, apparently. Him and Embiid scapegoated Ben Simmons.
Come on now. See, we're not going to do that, though. I'm not going to sit there and blame coaches or a player for saying something 20 minutes after they just lost an important game in their life. I'm not going to do that because I guarantee you if Doc went back.
If that was the only time, fine. You got me. But after they lose, every time they lose, and then he's got the whole interview. He's like, I want everyone to. This is not right after anything. I want people to tell the whole truth. when I had that 3-1 lead with Orlando, we weren't supposed to be winning. That was we weren't supposed to win that series.
Yeah, that's
well, goddamn, bro, what the fuck did they pay you for? To lose? They pay you to lose? I don't think so. So again, he always has something to say. The one thing that I wanted to bring up that I can't stand, that I'm kind of pissed that Pat Bev did, because I know he would be the exact type of person, if I came out and said, Pat Bev, shut the fuck up, you average 5 points a game, he would come back and be, I'm in the NBA. Right?
Exactly.
So then the thing he does, he comes to JJ like, well, you know, maybe they should have benched you because you weren't playing well. You were getting torched by James Harden. One, really dumb thing to do when you're trying to back the head coaching decision-making, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what you're saying is Doc Rivers did make stupid decisions then. That's flaw one with what Pat Bev was trying to do. He basically just said, Doc, you're an idiot for keeping to play JJ Redick instead of Jamal Crawford. So, stupid argument. Two,
I disagree though, but that's fine.
If you're defending your head coach and then attacking the decision your head
No,
coach
I'm
made,
agreeing with you. I'm agreeing. I agree with you. I'm just saying that you gotta keep.
I don't personally think JJ should have been benched in that scenario.
I don't either. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
If JJ Redick was starting and then the game plan was for JJ Redick to guard James Harden, again, really stupid decision making by Doc Rivers. Like there's just really no way around this. Like, if James Harden is routinely cooking JJ Redick, who is, you know, I think probably not as bad of a defender as a lot of people would assume he was. Was he a good defender? No. Would you put him on James Harden intentionally? I would hope not. But hey, Doc Rivers, he has a special way of fucking up shit in the playoffs, so maybe he did. But I just like the whole like coming at anybody like think about when Cam Newton, right? Cam Newton came out and said what he said, game changer versus game manager, and then people all of a sudden came out and said, Cam, you didn't win a fucking Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah. Now, I didn't even necessarily agree with what Cam said, but I just hate the, like, okay, I'm going to attack this person instead of what they actually said.
I agree. Yeah.
Like, just say, like, if you disagree with what JJ said, then what did JJ say what was wrong with it? That's what I want to hear. What does Pat Bev think? So if Doc does not make all these excuses, explain that to me then. Explain that he doesn't do that. Don't just say, oh, JJ, you got cooked. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's a lame take. That's fair. That's a lame take.
We got a lot of quotes from other NBA players about Pat Bev and the fake defense that they say he plays, including his current teteammate.
But he don't play
Dame
defense.
Lillard. He just out there running. I think that's what Dame said.
Just a nuisance.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I don't know if you'll play this game, Pat, but it is what it is. He could cook me. The man averaged like 30-something in Chicago when he was in high school, so I believe the man can ball. I'm just saying, don't do the shit that you know you wouldn't like other people doing. Right back to you. But let's go to positive news, Joe. The guy that you said was not going to win Rookie of the Year joined a rare club of people that have had a five. Yeah, it's not
happening. No, it's not. It's
5x5 club. Meaning he got 5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals, and 5 blocks, all in the same game. He flirted with it a couple games ago, and then he finally did it, I believe, Saturday night. So, Joe, I just want your kind of overall reaction to Wemby joining a pretty elite club.
He gonna get a quadruple double. It's gonna happen. Like
I'm with you.
The way he just easily
gets a fucking free.
He's gonna somehow. First of all, his reach is 7 feet. There's gonna be one someday he gonna get like 12 points.
His reach like goddamn 9 feet.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So he gonna easily somehow he gonna get it. He gonna have the steals, the rebounds, the blocks, and the points. It's gonna happen. This dude is a freak, and the fact that I think being with Papa is a great situation because losing right now is not gonna destroy his ego. Because Pop's just gonna sit there and teach him and teach him and teach him. Now I don't know if you want to stick with Pop, but I think it's great for his foundation for right now. Because then his ego ain't gonna get above him too much. He gonna build, he gonna learn. When he gets stronger, and once you can tell that he's raw mentally in the NBA game. When he figures that out, he finds his spots and it's over. I mean, when you can see him come up to the court and he just turn, and just put his finger up and he know where he went, and he just look like Jokic does, it's a wrap. Like if he just watch tape of Jokic, is how he should do it. Because he already got the athleticism and the speed. He just watched Jokic to get that passing down a little bit more, which he's already a really good passer. It's a wrap. Modern day Will Chamberlain, he could be like he ain't gonna have numbers like that, but just his dominance at that size is gonna be scary.
Yeah, bro. Like, there's not enough good adjectives to describe Wemby right now. Obviously, they're not winning. That team's terrible. They're gonna have to. That's gonna be the tricky part for them. Is like, can you get enough people that want to go play in San Antonio? I think honestly, what I'm starting to notice, Joe, though, is this like kind of newer age, like as Gen Z's kind of making it into the NBA now. I don't think they care as much about the big time.
I can go anywhere, bro. I can go anywhere.
Yeah, like I feel like that's really the mentality, which is
my brand is online. My brand is not in the city that I'm in. My brand is not in the market I'm in.
TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Like that's where they make their money. They don't need especially for a guy like Wemby, right? Like ESPN's gonna talk about him no matter where he plays. It's just like LeBron could go to Sacramento. He could go to Indy. He could go to the smallest market in there. They're gonna talk about him, right?
Facts.
So, it's gonna be interesting to see how they build. The one that still intrigues me a lot is Trae Young. If they make a move for Trae Young in the offseason,
man,
that's a fucking lethal. We were just talking about right with Trae Young and what they haven't done for him in Atlanta. Well, you got rim protector figured out.
The pick and roll. Fuck it. I don't even care if you take those stupid ass half court shots like you like to take. Wemby will get the rebound. Go ahead. Tip it out.
Like, remember that playoff run you were referencing. Remember like the chemistry he had with John Collins, right? Like it would seem like Trae was like going up for a floater and like was waiting to like literally he was about to release the ball. Like, okay, am I going for the floater or am I going to just lob this for the oop? Mm-hmm. Imagine if he's got Wemby.
Man,
I don't know how you stop it.
You gotta make it. You gotta make it happen, and you gonna have the picks and the players to make it happen. To be honest,
yeah. Like at that point,
and this draft isn't great.
Jeremy Socon, whoever they want,
and a first round pick.
First round, this draft not great. 3 first rounds. I don't care. Make that happen. Figure everything because I guarantee if that's like the first day of the NBA offseason, free agent's gonna want to go there. You'll get some role players to come there. Easily. I mean, like Wemby's bag is incredible. It's like you're saying, like he's already an above average passer, especially for a big. The scoring, what's crazy is I don't even think I think he's maybe 60% tapped into his scoring potential.
I don't even think they really not even calling plays for him for real.
It don't matter if they do.
Because they don't have a point guard.
Like, they don't
No.
Trey Jones is a decent point guard. Trey Jones will get him the ball, but he's not good enough at anything else to warrant being on the floor. So they get Trae Young, who I think would get it. Oh man,
that'd be nasty.
All right, you know how we end the show, Joe. We choose love. We choose violence. What you got?
I'm gonna choose violence, man. I'm gonna choose violence on my dog. I love this man, LeBron James. I usually don't have nothing negative to say about this man, but come on, bro. Like, I defend you when you lie about reading books. I defend you when you lie about. I knew Kobe was gonna score 80 that night. I defend all that stuff because who cares? You control the narrative. Who really care? You lie about reading a book at night. But you a goddamn lie if you think you not finna have no fucking retirement tour on your last year. Man, please. You tell me LeBron James ain't gonna tell the world this the year he gonna retire. So every single city he go to can show him love. Man, LeBron James, bro. Like, you come on now. I know you the king. I know you got ego. Ain't no way in hell you gonna sit there and just one day
chosen
say at the end of the season I'm retired.
Having an ego, bro. I'm sorry. You don't tat chosen one on you.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way you retire and just one day gonna call the NBA and say I'm retiring.
I mean, I don't even see. Like, I don't even really understand. Like, I know there will be the LeBron haters that say, like, "Oh wow, look at this egotistical piece of shit." Blah 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 blah. Kobe did it. We all knew that was Kobe's last game. Dwayne Wade did it, right? Paul Pierce tried to do it. No one gave a shit.
Vince Carter did it. Damn it. Okay. God damn, I didn't want to be disrespectful to Vince Carter because he is good, but damn it, he did it.
I mean, it's like we should. I mean, like me as like a Heat.
Paul
like,
George.
Me as a Heat fan, like when I got like seeing Dwayne Wade's like farewell tour, like that was great to me as a fan. All of LeBron's fans would love to see that because it just adds an element to every single game. And like oddly, you like care a little less about the season. Maybe that was just because the Heat were like not even close to contending in that season, but like I really didn't give a shit. Like I was watching because I knew this was my last chance to watch Dwayne Wade, and you know that's a person I've basically grown up watching. So I mean, LeBron has
and then
to.
You tell me if it's LeBron's and you go.
If you made a goddamn, you did the decision. You did the fucking decision to decide when you were going to go play some goddamn basketball. You're not going to give us a heads up when you retire. Fuck out.
Can you imagine the last game LeBron plays in Madison Square Garden,
bro?
Like that is going to be sold out like crazy.
Especially the NBA, no, because that's where they'll put the last game.
Oh my god! Oh, easily. Oh my god!
It'll either be there or in Cleveland, and either one would be fucking amazing.
And cost 10 times more than it should.
Boy, they thought the Super Bowl tickets were expensive this year. That shit would be fucking expensive.
Bron better go on a fucking tour.
I'll be pissed if he doesn't go on a tour. And he was only on my squad for 4 years.
50-state tour. Fuck that. LA don't need 42 home games. Go all 52 states. LeBron need to play every state.
Well, first of all, he's not going to retire a Laker. He's gonna retire a Heatle, where you won the most championships. He's coming back. He's coming back.
He's gonna retire. He's gonna retire a Cav.
Damn, he probably will.
Yeah.
Damn, that's ugly. Damn, that's ugly. But whatever. He does kind of deserve that. If he wants to do it that way, do it that way. I'm choosing love. And I'm going baseball. It's starting to get that time of the year, but
it is nice out.
I have to show love because I've chosen hate a lot of times on this show for my Cubbies. I'm gonna show love.
3 years.
Jed Hoyer, yep, Jed Hoyer. He played chicken and it worked, so I'm gonna give him love for it. He didn't throw out the big 7-year, $200 million deal that Scott Boras thought he was gonna get Bellinger, so he got him on the 3-year, $80 million deal with opt-outs. Now, it basically can be like a quasi 1-year deal, but whatever. He's back this year. The Brewers already look like they're selling. The Cardinals are – I don't know what the fuck they think they're doing. They think they're just vets away from winning. So,
hey, bro, we brought back Matt Carpenter. What you mean?
So, I mean, all I know is the Cubs should win the Central 8 out of 10 years. Just based on how – financially, they are different than everybody else in the division. It's inexcusable for the Cubs to have had a stretch like these last 3 years with the financial advantage that they have on everybody else. So I'm going to give love. Good job. You brought him back. Still need some more. We're basically just running it back at this point. We ain't that good. So
go out there. You got Montgomery still out there. Hayden still out there.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they need a little more relief pitching depth, and I would like to see still one more bat. Well,
ain't none out there. Good luck.
I mean, even if it's like a Matt Chapman where he's not going to play every day, but like maybe situationally against like lefties or something. I just think they need a little more. And they got some guys coming up from the minors, so like that's part of it. But
Central's going to be boring this year. Besides the Reds.
They'll be a really exciting 85-win team.
I know, but they're going to be everybody else going to just be bland. They may going to win, but they're going to be bland. That's all.
Nah, Cubs always got some showtime to them now. But we are 3 and Impossible.